The Spa circuit, a ribbon of asphalt cutting through the Ardennes forest, has always been a place of high drama. But at the 2025 Belgian Grand Prix, the most significant action wasn't happening on the track during the race. It was happening in the Red Bull garage just before qualifying. A brand new floor, a crucial performance upgrade for the RB21, was being fitted to Yuki Tsunoda's car. This was no ordinary part. It was a spare component, a precious, limited-run upgrade that had been explicitly reserved for the team's reigning world champion, Max Verstappen. The call was made by the new man in charge, team principal Laurent Mekies. To the average observer, it might have seemed like a routine operational decision. But within the high-stakes, politically charged world of Formula One, this was a thunderclap. This move, according to many observers, would have been unthinkable under the previous regime of Christian Horner. It was a decision that has been posited as a revelation, a single action that might finally explain the consistent, perceived underperformance of Max Verstappen's teammates. This is the story of a pivotal moment, a potential paradigm shift at Red Bull Racing, a story that delves into the complex interplay of leadership, car design, and the brutal reality of the second-seat conundrum. Is this a genuine new era of equality under Laurent Mekies, or is it a tactical maneuver in a team still reeling from a period of unprecedented turmoil? This is an analysis of the Mekies doctrine and its implications for the future of a dynasty. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome to Front Lockout. Chapter 1, The New Era of Leadership. To understand the significance of the Tsunoda upgrade, you must first understand the man who made the call. Laurent Mekies is not a product of the old Red Bull guard. He is an engineer by trade, with a deep technical and managerial background forged at teams like Toro Rosso, Ferrari, and even within the FIA itself. He was appointed CEO and team principal in the wake of Christian's tumultuous two-decade reign. Christian's departure in July 2025 came amidst a perfect storm, a significant downturn in performance, unresolved allegations, high-profile resignations, and palpable inter-team tensions. Mekies arrived with a different philosophy. His stated focus is on empowering the team's talent, on making sure the Red Bull energy is flowing through the team. This suggests a more inclusive, systemic approach to performance, a potential shift from the singular lead driver focus that characterized much of the Horner era. A famous historical example of that previous philosophy was the 2010 front wing incident, where a new part was taken from Mark Webber's car and given to Sebastian Vettel, a pragmatic, if controversial, decision to maximize the chances of the team's primary championship contender. Mekies, an engineer, may be prioritizing a more holistic team development strategy, one focused on long-term stability in a team that has been rocked by change. His decision at Spa could be the first tangible evidence of this new doctrine in action. Chapter 2. The Upgrade and the Impact. The part in question was a new floor, a significant aerodynamic upgrade. Yuki Tsunoda had been running an older specification, while Max Verstappen already had the latest version. The decision to give Tsunoda the spare was a calculated risk. In the cost cap era, new parts are produced in limited numbers. This flaw was Verstappen's backup, his insurance policy against damage. Laurent Mekies chose to take the risk. His stated goal was to boost Tsunoda's performance and confidence. The team worked frantically to get the floor fitted, nearly missing the start of qualifying. But as Mekies said, it was worth the effort. The impact was immediate and undeniable. Tsunoda reported a very, very good step forward, noting the new floor gave him more grip and allowed him to be aggressive with the car. The data backed him up. He qualified P7, his best result for Red Bull. And crucially, he was just 0.3 of a second slower than Max Verstappen on the longest lap of the year. This was a massive improvement for a driver who typically had a qualifying gap of 0.7 or more. The upgrade had worked, and Mekies' gamble had paid off. Chapter 3. The Second-Seat Conundrum. The narrative that this single upgrade explains why Verstappen's teammates always underperform is a compelling one, but the reality is far more complex. The second seat at Red Bull has been a notoriously difficult place to be, and it's a problem rooted in two interconnected factors, the car and the man driving the other one. First, Max Verstappen's unique driving style. He demands a car with a very positive front end and a sharp turn-in. The consequence is a machine with an unsettled rear, a car that lives on a knife's edge of adhesion. Verstappen has an almost supernatural ability to control this instability. Most other drivers do not. Red Bull's development philosophy has always been to follow the direction of your faster driver. This has created a car that is hyper-optimized for Verstappen's extreme style, but inherently difficult for anyone else to master. This has led to the second-seat conundrum. A long line of talented drivers, Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon, Sergio Perez, have all struggled to consistently match Verstappen's pace. Their perceived underperformance is not necessarily a reflection of their skill, but a demonstration of the immense challenge of driving a car that is fundamentally designed against their natural style. They often need added understeer dialed in to make it more drivable, which improves their comfort but lowers the performance ceiling of the car. Second, the strategic constraints of modern F1. The cost cap means teams cannot afford to produce an abundance of every new part. It is standard practice to introduce upgrades on one car first, typically the lead drivers, to validate its performance before committing resources to a second set. This pragmatic, financially driven approach inadvertently reinforces the lead driver prioritization model. So the performance gap is not just about favoritism. It's a confluence of a generational talent, a car philosophy built around him, and the economic realities of the sport. Chapter 4. A fundamental shift. So, what does the Tsunoda upgrade truly signify? It is a notable and perhaps symbolic departure from Red Bull's previous operational norm. Mekies' decision to challenge the established practice, to take a risk for the benefit of his second driver, is a powerful statement. It suggests a leadership style that values the performance and morale of the entire team, not just its star driver. This could be a crucial strategy for Red Bull's future. The team is at a critical juncture. They are facing a downturn in performance, the loss of key technical figures like Adrian Newey, and the monumental challenge of the 2026 regulations, which includes the development of their own power unit. In this period of instability, fostering a more equitable, supportive, and stable environment could be vital for retaining talent and navigating the hurdles ahead. However, it is too early to declare a fundamental shift based on a single race weekend. This could have been a tactical maneuver, a way for a new leader to boost morale and signal a change in the immediate aftermath of a contentious period. The true test of the Mekies doctrine will be consistency. If this kind of balanced resource allocation becomes the new standard, it will indeed mark a new chapter for Red Bull. Chapter 5. A new chapter for Red Bull. The story of Yuki Tsunoda's flaw at Spa is more than just a footnote in a race weekend report. It's a fascinating case study in the complex dynamics of a top Formula One team in transition. The pervasive narrative that Verstappen's teammates always underperform is a result of a complex interplay between his own exceptional talent, a highly specialized car design philosophy, and the strategic necessities of the cost cap era. Laurent Mekies' decision to give Tsunoda the upgrade doesn't just explain the past, it illuminates a potential new path for the future. It suggests a willingness to challenge the status quo, to prioritize the collective over the individual, and to invest in the confidence of the entire driver lineup. In a team that is grappling with its identity in a post-Horner, post-Newey world, this new approach could be the key to long-term stability and success. The road ahead for Red Bull is fraught with challenges. But for one weekend in the Belgian forest, the new man in charge made a decision that offered a glimmer of a different, more balanced future. Whether that glimmer becomes a guiding light for a new era at Red Bull remains to be seen. This is Front Lookout,